This is definitely a change of pace, huh? Wow, Ian, you go from uploading Terraria analysis videos to Subnautica Below Zero gameplay videos to Fortnite season reviews? Hey, shh, shut up. Alright, no, but real talk, I've really started to get back into Fortnite as of recently. I started playing kind of like when Chapter 2 OG came out, and I've been playing ever since. I played a little bit of Chapter 5 here and there, and to put it bluntly, I didn't like it. I don't think I can eloquently explain just how much I dislike that chapter. There was just a lot of stuff that went wrong with that. So many awful decisions that Epic made that chapter that I just personally heavily disagree with. If you want a general rundown on why Chapter 5 was literally just objectively bad, then I'm gonna point you towards this guy's video. He explains everything really well, and it's definitely a video not just worth watching, but liking as well. And speaking of likes, how about you? So, Fortnite Chapter 6 is here, and I've got some thoughts about it. Not all negative, but at the same time, not all positive. And honestly, most of my complaints really just come down to how some of the weapons are handled. Other than that, there really aren't that many problems with this chapter. So far, at least. Let's not have a repeat of Chapter 5 Season 3. Epic, I'm begging you, please, don't ever do that again, please. But before I get into my opinion on this season, I just want to run through a few things real quick regarding myself at least, and where I stand with this game. That way, when I say something that you personally disagree with, you can refer back to this point and understand why. So, here's where I'm coming from. I'm a casual player who has never played build mode since Zero Build was added. I've never played ranked. I don't sweat when I play, although I still try my hardest to win a round. And depending on the day, I'm the most mediocre player you've ever seen, or the best player that ever had the liberty to touch a mouse and keyboard. Also, I'm a Chapter 1 Season 2 veteran who has seen this game go through pretty much every change imaginable. So if you want to say that I have no clue what I'm talking about, then you are just blatantly wrong. So, with all of that being said, what is my opinion on Chapter 6 so far? It's pretty good. I mean, there's not really much to say about it. It's just, you know, it's decent. I think the map is beautiful, personally. My favorite area aesthetically is Night Shift Forest. That place is just chef's kiss. Really good looking. It might not be the best place to land at. As a solo, I personally really like Bird, since like only 2 bots land there, so I can have all of the chests and stuff to myself. It's also just like really tight and compact. It just works. Bird is really good. Honestly, the whole map is pretty good, honestly. There's no really big, there's no complaints on that front. When it comes to weapons though, I definitely do have a few criticisms. Starting off with the list of weapons, there's 8 guns in this chapter, at least for now, and none of those are snipers or rocket launchers. Yep, you heard me right. No snipers. Which I'm personally kind of mixed about because, yeah, I like headshotting people, but I also don't like getting my head shot, so you know what? I'm personally fine with there being no snipers. Running down the list of weapons, there's 2 assault rifles, 2 SMGs, and 3 shotguns, for whatever reason. Yeah, the suppressed pistol is also here, but, I mean, it's a suppressed pistol. I don't know what you want me to say. The one thing about these weapons that I noticed is that they're all really different from one another, which is a good thing. Every weapon feels like its own weapon. No weapons feel like they're just reskins of one another. They all feel different when put up against each other. With all of that being said though, I do feel like some of them are a little too different. Anyways, I'm gonna go through every unique weapon and give my thoughts on it, starting with the assault rifles, then moving to the shotties, then the SMGs, and then all of the other unique weapons after those, along with all of their mythic counterparts. And I would like to note, I'm judging all of the weapons based on their rare weapon stats, since they're right in the middle, which will give a good average of performance between them all. And because I'm a Zero Build player, all of these weapons will be looked through that lens specifically. Starting with the Fury Assault Rifle. This is just kind of, you know, your basic assault rifle. It fires decently fast, and it actually has pretty decent accuracy, even at long range, allowing you to take down people with relative ease. All in all, this is a good assault rifle. It's not a 5-star AR, it's more like a 4-star assault rifle. Really good, but not bad at all. There is just one problem though. It is completely invalidated by the next assault rifle I'm going to talk about. The Hollow Twister AR. Alright, just to put this into perspective for you, if the Fury Assault Rifle is a 4 out of 5 star AR, this gun is like an 8. But what makes it so good, you may be asking? Well, let's just go through everything one by one. Starting with its fire rate, yeah, the Twister has a slower rate of fire, but with a slower rate of fire comes extra stability and better tap firing potential, allowing you to hit more shots than you otherwise would. And next up is its accuracy, and honestly, I don't need to mention accuracy because this gun has a scope, which means it is dang near pinpoint accurate. And when it comes to damage, well, the Twister clears the Fury as well. A blue Fury AR does 24 damage. Not bad, right? Well, guess what? The blue Twister does 31, a whole 7 more damage. And if you're looking at your screen and thinking, well, that's not a lot, it's just 7 more damage, right? If you're thinking that, then my friend, you have not played Fortnite. Combine that with everything else good about this rifle and yeah, this thing is just objectively the best assault rifle to use right now. Don't get me wrong, the Fury is still really good, but just me personally, I'd rather pick up a green Twister AR over a blue Fury. And that should tell you something. Honestly, I don't really know how to make the Fury AR better than the Twister. The best idea that I have is just swapping the damage values, which honestly makes a little bit of sense, right? Make the rifle that's easier to hit shots with deal less damage than the rifle that has more bloom, and is therefore less easy to hit shots with. I'm not sure though, I'm sure somebody else will come up with a better idea, but for now, that's all I got. Up next are the shotguns, and if you've played Chapter 6 already, I'm just gonna echo what everybody else is saying. The shotguns this season are underwhelming, to put it as bluntly as possible. Starting with the Sentinel Pump, this is just your basic pump shotgun. Honestly, there's not much to be said. It has really good close range damage, but anything beyond 20 feet in this shotgun does pretty much nothing. And when put up against all the other shotguns, this is just objectively like the only good shotgun. Once again, it's not a 5-star shotgun. It's like a, I don't know, like a 4.5 shotgun. The Oni shotgun, on the other hand, though, is just... This shotgun just makes me just sad. I'm just gonna say that. Just makes me sad. Because I really do see what they were going for with this shotgun. A double-barreled shotgun that fires fast, deals decent damage, and is more accurate than any other shotgun, allowing you to deal more damage at a further range than the other shotguns can. The problem is that this shotgun just wasn't made correctly. Just to put this into perspective, a legendary Sentinel Pump shotgun, which has double the magazine capacity of the Oni shotgun, deals 114 damage on a close-range body shot. A legendary Oni shotgun, on the other hand, does a maximum body shot damage of 95. 95. And keep in mind, you only get 2 shots before you need to reload. Now, you can make the argument that the Oni shotgun is more accurate and therefore the lower damage is necessary, but that argument doesn't work because it isn't balanced in regard to the other shotguns. In a perfect world, every shotgun would be on the same playing field, meaning that it wouldn't matter if you had a legendary Sentinel Pump or a legendary Oni shotgun. If you hit 2 point-blank headshots on an enemy that has full health, full shield, and full temporary shield, they should both kill that enemy. But the Oni shotgun doesn't do that. And honestly, this is a really simple fix. Just buff its damage. Buff the Oni shotgun's damage by like 20 or 25 points. Take the legendary Oni shotgun's damage from like 95 to 115 or 120. And honestly, that is all you gotta do with the shotgun. You don't have to do anything else. You don't need to increase its fire rate or its reload speed. Just buff the damage by like 20 points. And this thing would be fun as heck to run around with. A double-barreled shotgun that isn't relegated to just the legendary rarity is something that I have been wanting for a long time in this game. So it's sad to see it screwed up like this. I really, really hope they buff it in the future. And then you've got there's the twin fire auto shotgun. All right, look, I'm just gonna be completely honest. I don't like this shotgun at all. I don't know why, but it's so inconsistent to me. Maybe other people have success with it, I don't know, but in my opinion, this is just easily the worst shotgun for me. And by far, I think it's the worst auto shotgun that I've seen in this game. I just don't like this thing. The one thing that kind of ticks me off is the stupid twin fire gimmick. Like, when you pick the shotgun up for the first time, you think, oh wow, 14 bullets. That's pretty awesome. But that's the thing. You don't get 14 shots. Take a look at its name again. Twin fire. Yep, this thing consumes 2 bullets at once, which means that you don't have 14 shots, you actually have 7, which seems pretty reasonable, but like, why didn't you just make a regular 7-shot auto shotgun? Why do I have to consume twice the bullets for the same damage that another auto shotgun that came in previous chapters already provided? Like, what's with this stupid twin mag gimmick? It literally makes no sense. It would make a lot more sense if this shotgun fired 2 rounds simultaneously in a burst, like dum 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 dum. But I guess they figured that they already had a double-barreled shotgun, so it wouldn't make sense to have 2. I don't know. This shotgun is just strange. That's like the best way I can describe it. It's just strange. It doesn't feel correct. It doesn't feel good. Also, like I can't be the only one that sees this, right? I mean, it looks like dangling balls. Let's just move on to the SMGs. The Surge Fire SMG. This is an interesting weapon. It has this really weird gimmick where it gets more accurate and fires faster the longer you hold down the trigger, which is a cool mechanic, don't get me wrong, but I do wish that this was just, once again, a regular SMG, because it gets completely overshadowed by the other SMG this season, the Veiled Precision SMG. I'll just let this clip speak for itself. What the heck? This ain't no SMG. This is an assault rifle with a mask on. What kind of SMG has this little recoil, this much accuracy, and can hit people at such a long distance? I'll tell you what kind of SMG that is. No SMG. Because SMGs don't do that. Take this comparison, for example. This is what I would say is typical SMG engagement range. Let's see how the regular submachine gun performs. Not bad. Now the Veiled Precision SMG. Once again, not bad at all. Now let's move back a little bit. This is what I would say is a good example of assault rifle engagement distance. Let's see the default SMG. Alright, now the Veiled Precision SMG. You seeing what I'm seeing? I don't think I need to say anything else at this point. This SMG is just pure insanity. Easily one of the best guns in this chapter right now. It is so freaking good. I've seen people take this in place of an AR. That's how good this thing is. It's insane. Anyways, with all of that out of the way, I figured I should talk about the mythic versions of these weapons since they're also in the game, because of course, we gotta have mythic weapons. Mythics, yeah, woohoo! Starting with the Mythic Fury, its mythic property is that it fires a little bit faster than its regular counterpart. Cool. The Mythic Twister AR's property is allowing you to aim down sights a little bit faster. Honestly, thumbs up on that one. No problems there. The Mythic Pump has 1 extra shell, meaning that you can kill 2 3/4 of somebody instead of just 2. Alright. Why didn't you just make it 6 shells instead of 5? The Mythic Oni shotgun has a faster pullout time, which is pretty much useless. Also worth noting that the Mythic Oni shotgun still does not crack 100 damage for some reason. I don't know. And what does the Mythic Twin Fire Auto have going for it? Slightly increased reload speed. From 5.2 seconds to just 4.2 seconds. And then there's the SMGs. The Mythic Surge Fire SMG has increased accuracy and a reduced spread penalty from both jumping and moving. And the Mythic Precision SMG has, get this, reduced recoil. What? So you gave the weapon that already has negligible recoil even less recoil. Honestly, with all that being said though, I really don't have a problem with how you acquire any of the mythic weapons. Except for one. The Enhanced Twister AR. To acquire the Mythic Twister AR, what do you have to do? Perhaps you open a vault. Maybe you defeat a boss. If you thought any of these things, you're wrong. To get the Mythic Twister AR, all you need to do is be the first person on the train. I am not even joking. If you're the first person to open the timed crate on the train, you are guaranteed to get this mythic assault rifle. And you'd be surprised that a whole lot of people don't know about this, and part of me is kind of happy about that because it means I get this delicious gun all to myself. But it also means that whoever knows about it is automatically at an advantage because they know that they don't even need to complete any sort of challenge to get this weapon. All they have to do is get on the train, tap the crate, and then wait. And you can make the argument that, well, it shows that you're unlocking the crate if you're close to the train. All right, fine. Let me ask you something. Who in their right mind is going to chase the train for that crate? The only people that are going to do that are sweats or people that know that the mythic AR is on the train. Nobody else gives a crap about the train. I don't give a crap about the train. And I know that a lot of other people also don't give a crap about the train either. And as a result of nobody caring about the train, a lot of people don't know that this mythic AR is on it. So that's why I'm here, to let you know that at least for right now, I don't know if they've changed it or not when I've uploaded this, but the best gun in the game is on the train. All you gotta do is unlock the crate first. So go get it. Go get it. The world's your oyster. This thing is literally a golden scar with a scope. And honestly, that should tell you enough about this gun. I mean, come on. You don't need me to tell you it's OP. The stats are right there. All in all, though, the mythic guns are fine. Completely fine. They do exactly what you'd expect them to do. And aside from the stupid way that you acquire the Twister AR, I've got no problems with them. At all. With all of that being said, though, it's time to move on to the other unique weapons that they added this season. Starting with the Fire Oni Mask, this thing is essentially this season's rocket launcher, at least for right now. It's actually a pretty cool weapon, too. When you use it, it fires a flaming skull, which is already pretty awesome, but it homes in on enemies and it does about 100 damage to them along to, anybody else that's in its vicinity. And it comes in two rarities, Epic and Mythic. There's not really any difference between the Epic and Mythic variant. The only real difference between the two is just the extra reserve charges in the Mythic mask. All in all, it's pretty good. It's a little annoying in Zero build, but people don't really walk around with it that much, so it's not really that big of a problem. The Void Oni mask, on the other hand, holy crap, this thing is awesome. I remember hearing another YouTuber refer to this thing as basically an Ender Pearl, and honestly, this thing is better than an Ender Pearl. Essentially, what this thing does is throw a portal that you can teleport to whenever you want. It is on a time limit, but this thing is not only good for movement, but also making escapes as well. You can get into some crazy places with this thing. It is really good. It's not so good that it's OP. It's just good in I don't know how else to describe it. It's just good. It's better than shockwave grenades in terms of movement, and that is saying a lot. This thing is just incredible. Oh, and also, if you're wondering what the mythic version of this mask does, it just gives you 50 charges instead of 15. That's it. And honestly, that's all this thing needs. It's dang near perfect. This next weapon, though, is it's a little bit less than perfect. I'll just say that. It's really annoying in Zero build, and if you've played the game, you probably know what I'm talking about. The Typhoon Blade. Alright, I'm just gonna say this. As a Zero build player, the Typhoon Blade, which I'm just gonna be referring to as the katana from this point forward, is just stupid good in Zero build. The main problem with it is that it's just simply like the best close range weapon that is available right now. And to demonstrate that, I'm gonna compare it to a weapon that I've had similar complaints about, the Nitro Fists. Both of these weapons are very similar to one another. They both provide enhanced movement, they're both melee weapons, and they're both only effective at close range. The main difference between the fists and the katana is their main functionality. In my opinion, the Nitro Fists were more of a mobility tool than they were a weapon. And that's not to say that they weren't effective as a weapon, but they worked far better in my opinion as a mobility item. The katana, on the other hand, really does just seem like it was made to prioritize close-range combat, far more than the Nitro Fists. The katana increases your movement speed, stamina, and jump height, allowing you to more effectively close the gap against an enemy that's out of range. And this would be fine if the Typhoon Blade was purely a mobility item, allowing you to get in close for a nice shotgun meat shot. But the katana isn't that. It was more designed to be an offensive close-range weapon, kind of like a shotgun, but even more powerful than any shotgun right now. But the main reason I'm comparing the katana to the nitro fists is because they're both annoying to fight against in the exact same way. Both of these weapons require no inherent skill that the player needs to have in order to kill an enemy. For example, let's compare the katana to the sentinel pump shotgun. In order to kill an enemy with the sentinel pump, you need to land a close-range, accurate headshot in order to kill them in one shot. If they aren't killed in one shot, then you need to follow it up with another weapon like an SMG to finish them off. This strategy requires you to have, at the very least, decent aim in order to kill your enemy. Now, take the katana. In order to kill an enemy with the katana, you need to do two things. Get close to somebody and hold down your attack key. And that's it. Good luck against this thing if you don't have any shockwave grenades or a void Oni mask. You're screwed at close range if you're caught off guard. And you can make the argument that a shotgun combo can kill somebody quicker than the katana can, and that may be true, but it doesn't matter, because why would you take a weapon that requires you to be good at the game in order to use, when you could just hold down the attack key and kill them with no problems at all? Not to mention the fact that the particles emitted by the katana, combined with the fact that the person using it is dashing around while swinging it, can really disorient you if you're caught in its radius. Someone with the katana has no effective close-range weakness aside from somebody who either A, has godlike aim, or B, somebody else, guess what? With the katana! So the main counter to the katana is another katana. And also being far away from somebody using it, something that is impossible to do in endgame because of the small circle, unless you're playing the most chicken strategy ever invented. And being far away doesn't help that much either, since if you start peppering somebody with the katana, they can just whip it out, jump 20 feet in the air down into a canyon, take 0 fall damage, and make it away from you alive. The nitro fists were at least slightly less powerful because they only hit 3 times, and on the final hit, they launched you backwards, allowing you to get some distance from your enemy. The katana, on the other hand, is just close-range spam hell. As bad as it sounds, I don't like weapons like this that cater to bad players. If you're in a close-range shotgun fight and your enemy misses one of his shots and you kill them, that's a good thing, because both players need some amount of skill in order to kill one another. And if you miss your shot, you should be punished for that. If you and an enemy both have the same gun, same rarity, and they kill you, the weapon being overpowered isn't the issue. Skill is an issue, therefore making it, drumroll please, a skill issue. And that's the problem with the katana. It requires no skill to use in zero build. It doesn't matter if the katana is rare or not. If any weapon violates the boundaries of skill, then it is not a well-designed weapon. Now keep in mind, this entire time I'm looking through the perspective of zero build. Maybe this thing is more balanced in build mode. And you know what? It probably is, considering that build mode is the main mode that people play. But Epic, you have to realize that while 300,000 people are playing build mode, 275,000 might be playing zero build. And in fact, in this clip, you can see that more people are playing zero build than build mode. And honestly, that says a lot when you think about it. Now, obviously, I understand that it is difficult to balance weapons for 2 completely different modes. One where you are only limited to the environment as cover, and another one where you can just throw up a wall whenever you need to. Obviously, it's hard. And I don't blame Epic for not getting it perfect right away. But there needs to be a change of some kind for this thing to be okay in zero build. The easiest solution is just to take it out of zero build completely. But obviously, people would be adverse to that. And the second most obvious option is to balance items depending on whether or not you're playing zero build or not. But of course, this would require time to implement, and Epic Games is a company. And if you know anything about companies, they value the time it takes to make something happen. The less time it takes, the better. And I'm not sure if Epic will want to do that. So for right now, I don't know. I'm not sure what Epic Games wants to do. Knowing Epic though, it's probably nothing. And you know what? I'm not mad at that, since it's what I've come to expect. For now, I'm fine coexisting with the Typhoon Blade. Even if it is annoying, there's always going to be annoying weapons. And that's just the way it's always been. It's just a weapon in a video game that I can turn off whenever I want, so at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter. Gosh, that was
That was a lot of complaining. I promise from this point forward, there's not going to be any more major complaints. And honestly, there really isn't much else to talk about besides the bosses, the boons, and the sprites. So I'll go through all of those as quick as possible. The bosses are just kind of, you know, whatever. I don't really seek out and fight them very often, but if one is in my way, like the giant samurai on the big floating islands, then I'll give it my best shot, I guess. The boons, though, I think are actually pretty cool. They're essentially this chapter's version of the augments from Chapter 4, except instead of every player having them, they're scattered around the map inside of special chests. I'm not sure if these chests spawn in, like, any specific locations or if they just replace the regular chests, but only certain chests. I'm not too sure. But it doesn't really matter since pretty much every single POI has at least one of these special chests. So it's not like you're gonna be missing out on anything. These chests also have a chance to give you like some weapons and stuff, but their main function is really just to give you the boons. Although I will admit, opening a chest that almost has a guaranteed chance to drop a rare gun is pretty nice. And then there's the sprites, which are honestly one of my favorite things about this update, just by far. These little guys are just awesome, and they're not just for show either. They're actually really freaking useful. There's 3 different sprites: the water sprite, the air sprite, and the earth sprite. When thrown, the water sprite heals you for like 30 or 40 health and shield. I'm not quite sure how much. And then it'll heal you all the way up to 50 shield or, you know, HP, depending on which one you need. So basically, these guys are just portable 50 shield fountains for you and your entire team, which is really nice. The air sprite, though, is a little different. When thrown, it emits like a little tornado thing that flings you up in the air a little bit, which actually allows you to get some good distance. This is really good if you need to move into the circle or if you just, you know, want to fly around for a few seconds, I guess. And then there's the Earth Sprite, which I actually haven't come across in a game yet, but apparently if you feed him a weapon, he'll spit out a random legendary one, which is pretty cool. And if I'm being completely honest, that sums up my thoughts on this chapter so far. I know it's still pretty early in this chapter's lifespan, but first impressions matter the most, and that's what I just gave you here. If I had to put this chapter on a scale from 1 to 10, where 1 is unplayable and 10 is like the best experience I could ever have in Fortnite, so far, I give it like a 7.5 out of 10. And honestly, aside from a couple of weapons just feeling kind of redundant and the fact that, you know, the Typhoon Blade just exists, I honestly have zero problems with this chapter so far. I think the map is great, it looks great, most of the weapons feel good and unique, the mythics are decent, the boons and the sprites are really good. Most of the stuff so far is great. Such an improvement from Chapter 5, it's not even funny. But it does need improvement, specifically towards the weapons. Buff some of the weapons, nerf others, and we're good. I can honestly see this becoming one of my favorite chapters, if it's handled correctly in the future, that is. I can only hope that it is, but then again, I had high expectations for Chapter 5, and, well, I mean, we all know how, you know, we all know how that turned out. But I'm not giving up hope at all. I can see that Epic is taking a step in the right direction. They're actually listening to people. And they showcased that by bringing back hit scan weapons. And they're bringing back OG Fortnite permanently. So you know what? Good on you, Epic. You're doing a good job so far. And honestly, all I can really hope for right now is for Fortnite to just keep taking steps in the right direction, which so far it mostly has. But with every step Fortnite can take, there's a chance it can get itself caught in some thorns. And I just hope that they don't step in very many thorns in the future. But anyways, with all of that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any thoughts, comment them down below. And until next time, this is Ian Chian35. Signing out.